Major Christopher Miller, 3rd Battalion, 116th Cavalry Regiment. The battalion came out to Orchard Combat Training Center to qualify primarily on our tanks and Bradleys, and also with our mortars. Many of the other soldiers in the headquarters and the forward support company qualified on their individual weapons. 3rd Battalion is a combined arms battalion, so being proficient on our weapons and vehicles is essential to us being able to complete our mission. There have been 2 other annual trainings this year so far, so this is our 3rd. We have only some of the soldiers out here. Out of the 442 assigned, we had 223 that were present for annual training. Giving the soldiers an opportunity to train on their weapons and their vehicles is what they look forward to all year. And when they show up for IDT weekends, drill weekends, they are doing their preparations in order to come out for this. So this is the culminating event for them. Some of the soldiers had the opportunity to go to Bangladesh for Tiger Lightning, and also some went to Morocco for African Lion. So the soldiers that are out here are ones that didn't get to participate in those events. So this was the big event for them this year. 3rd Battalion is different because it's more of a family type environment. There's the tankers in this unit. This battalion is the only battalion in the state that has that particular military occupational specialty. So there's not a lot of opportunity for them to move outside the battalion to other units. So they spend their entire career in this battalion, either in the company in Hermiston or in Ontario. And oftentimes they stay within the company that they started in. So the relationships that are built over a career of 20+ years, it creates that family dynamic. When I moved to this battalion about 10 years ago, it was immediately evident that so there's something different about the battalion. Being out here remotely located in Eastern Oregon, the relationships people build outside of drill, you know, they're friends, they spend time together camping, riding 4-wheelers and those sorts of things. It's not something that I've found anywhere else, and I've been in several other units across the state. I mentioned earlier that it's a combined arms battalion, and that it's not just a name, because we have the direct fire weapons, we have the tanks, which, you know, 120 millimeter main gun round is pretty significant, and it's a bit awesome to witness. It's also an awesome experience to be behind the gun and being able to shoot that. And in addition to the machine guns that are also on the tank, the Bradleys with their 25 millimeter main gun, their coax and their tow missiles. But in addition to that, we have the indirect fire capability of the 120 millimeter mortars, and we're all mounted. So that's something that's unique about the battalion, is that everything is on wheels or tracks, mostly tracks. And being able to move rapidly, maneuver on the enemy, and bring that firepower to bear is awesome. Behind the tanks, the Bradleys, the mortars, the snipers, and the scouts, and the tracked vehicles, all those things that are out there that everybody notices on the surface, we have maintainers and logisticians to make it all possible. Tanks use an absurd amount of ammunition and fuel, so do the Bradleys and the mortars. And in fact, that's the largest unit in our battalion is the forward support company. And they are all over the place working 24 hours a day to make sure that the troops on the front line have what it is they need to be successful out here in gunnery and if we're in combat against an enemy. It's an absolute honor to be the commander of this battalion. When I found out that I was given the opportunity to come back here and lead these great citizen soldiers, I was extremely excited. We have, as I said earlier, people that have been in this battalion for a really long time. They bring to the organization skill sets, both from their military experience and also from their civilian jobs. Now that we're done with this training year, we've completed this annual training, we're going to start getting ready for JRTC. The 41st Infantry Brigade is going to be going and conducting some training down there. We're sending a company team that'll consist of 2 tank platoons and 1 Bradley platoon. As I mentioned earlier, some of those supporters that will make that possible. Extremely excited to see what those soldiers are able to do in the coming months. Sign 'em more.
I'm Staff Sergeant Joaquin Murillo III. I am part of Bravo Company, 3 of the 116. I am 1st Platoon Sergeant, Tank Commander. We are here at Orchard Training Center in Idaho, and we just finished Table 6 Gunnery. Table 6 gunnery for tanks is very important because it tests our proficiency and accuracy in our M1A2 main battle tanks. Table 6 is an exercise that allows our crews to perform as a team in combat scenarios. 3 of the 116 is the only tank battalion in the Pacific Northwest. And I love being a tanker because it allows me to get on one of the biggest and baddest tanks in the world and train with troops from all around the state of Oregon and the Northwest. I enjoy being in the Oregon National Guard because I could do this part-time and still maintain a civilian life.
Hello, my name is Lieutenant Hannah Grazian. I am with the Oregon Army National Guard and the 3 of the 116 Battalion in Hotel Company FSC. I am the Maintenance Control Officer and in charge of the Maintenance Control Section. So here at Gunnery Annual Training for 3 of the 116, we are in charge, us as a hotel company are in charge of maintaining all of the vehicles, maintaining all of the logistics for this battalion. So in Hotel Company, we have distro platoon, we have maintenance control section, and maintenance. All of those things involve ammo, we deal with fuel, we deal with all the vehicles in the battalion and making sure that everything is running according to how it should. That comes with maintaining our equipment, and which is my main job. I focus on the paperwork side and making sure that everything is where it's supposed to be and everyone is where they are supposed to be. There is no way that this battalion could run without us. We are the logistics. We are the behind the scenes people that make things happen and make it so they can actually shoot and do gunnery and have fun and shoot big guns. Sometimes we get to shoot big guns too, because we provide all of the things that they need. We are here to support, but we lead from the front because they can't do this without us. I like being in 3 of the 116 because it's a challenge. We have so many different variances of vehicles that are very unique in how they are maintained. Within the state of Oregon, there's only 2 cavalry battalions. So that's a pretty unique opportunity and ability to say, hey, I worked for a hotel company. I was in charge of maintaining all of this equipment, and you were able to do your job because I did mine. I like being a citizen soldier because it provides me with different opportunities I wouldn't get without the Guard. It provides me to do different things than any civilian would ever do, shoot bigger things, do better things, and be a part of a pretty cool group of kids.
Captain Kevin Wetmore, company commander for Charlie 3 the 116. We're out here at Orchard Training Center conducting Table 5 for our qualification. Table 5 is the precursor to our actual qualification, which will begin tomorrow. We are using the Bradley system to qualify our crews to ensure that they are ready and capable to conduct the missions that we will be doing in the future. We have new crews, and so this is going to lead to a gunnery next year, where they will be able to refine their skills so that in the future when we go to NTC, JRTC, XCTC, they will be able to conduct the tasks that are needed to happen during those rotations. Bradley has a 25mm autocannon and a 240 coax on it. It's used to engage long-distance targets. It's also capable of carrying a squad of infantry up to 7 to closer destinations, such as entering into a city, right, clearing buildings. And then it's also used to fortify defensive positions. So it's really good at transporting also infantrymen longer distances than they're willing to walk or they want to walk. Coming over to 3 the 116 has been a great learning experience. The soldiers of Charlie Company 3 the 116 have a great passion, and I love their mindset of teaching people how to be effective fighters on the Bradley system.
Sergeant Sarah Bennett. I am a 91 Bravo here, an all-wheeled vehicle mechanic, and I am a team leader here of all the mechanics out here, 91 Bravo, 91 Delta, you name it. We're here at OCTC, Orchard Combat Training Center. Our mission out here as mechanics is to keep the mission going. All these vehicles, all these tracked vehicles, all these wheeled vehicles need to be able to get from point A to point B and be able to move swiftly and without any issue. And if there is an issue, our job is to act as swiftly as possible to go either recover vehicle, go fix our vehicles, any issues that these people out here have. We have them write it down on their paperwork called a 5988 Echo, and we make sure that we get everything annotated. So even if we don't have the parts right here, right now, we can get them when we come back to home station. To be able to have our mission even remotely successful, we need our vehicle to be at top peak condition. It needs to be able to go anywhere at any time under any weather or terrain conditions. And if, our soldiers are not annotating their vehicle issues, if they are not maintaining their vehicles, then your truck is going to fall apart mid-route. We don't need that. We don't want that. We want things running smoothly. So that's why we need to make sure everyone's following through with the correct paperwork, correct communications, and that way it makes everyone's job a lot smoother. I especially love being in 3116. It is a change of pace, being out here not only working along doing my job as a wheeled vehicle mechanic, but looking at all these tracked vehicles, the Bradleys, the Abrams, and understanding the mechanical side of how they work. This company, this battalion, they work extremely hard day in and day out to keep the cavalry mission alive. And honestly, these people are truly a family. I love being in the National Guard. The National Guard has given me so many opportunities, so many training opportunities, and things that I can relate back to the civilian side. I'm a CNA on the civilian side, so working as a mechanic is pretty much me saying that all these vehicles are a nonverbal patient. They all have their way of functioning and how they flow, and honestly, I'm still in because I feel like I need to give back to the Guard because the Guard has given me everything in life.
I'm Specialist Hegley with Hotel Company of the 3116. I'm a 92 Alpha Equipment Parts Specialist. I'm here at Orchard Training Center and I facilitate the admin requests for maintenance on the vehicles. These maintenance requests and inspections are important so that we can make sure that our equipment is maintained and up to deployment status. I like being a part of the 3116 because we're like a family here, and everyone likes to include you, even the higher NCOs and officers. They come and talk to you, check in with you, make sure you're doing good, and there's lots of cross training so that we get the skills we need for civilian life and make sure we're ready financially and emotionally and everything. I'm happy to be a citizen soldier so that I can serve my country and my family and the people that live in my state. I'm happy to serve.